Hello, this is Robert Rodriguez, and I'm presenting to you the 10-minute film school. It's something that I would show at guerrilla filmmaking seminars at film festivals. You know, people ask me, Mariachi, did you really make that for $7,000? How did you do that? And it's just so hard to sit there and try and explain it. It's much easier to show raw footage from the movie, scenes, what they looked like before they were edited, so you can see exactly how to put a movie together very inexpensively by yourself if need be. First of all, I shot this movie silent. What that allowed me to do actually was save a lot of film because I didn't have any film slates. I didn't have any sync slates. In fact, the only indication we had to put on the roll at all was at the head of it to show what roll we were on. And this is roll 15. You can see I just had the actors hold their fingers up. After that, there's no slates. Let me jump right to the cool part. This is the scene that everyone thinks cost a lot of money. People always ask me, how did you do the bus sequence, for instance, on such a small budget and with no crew or stunt people or anything? So actually, if you just break it down, you see it's not that difficult at all. In fact, it's actually kind of cool. So what you're going to be looking at here is the actual raw footage of this scene and the order it was shot. There's no slates. Every time you see a flash frame, that's me starting or stopping the camera. You'll see that this is everything that I shot for this sequence, and it explains why the movie was so inexpensive, because I only shot 25 rolls of film for the entire movie. Well, let me just show you the raw footage and you can get a sense of how that could be possible. Here we go. This is my actor Carlos. He's going to run up the stairs and throw his guitar case, but you'll see that he misses in this first take. But that's all right, because the first part of it was fine. Him running up the stairs was good. I'm not going to redo the whole take. That's a waste of film. What I'll do is just punch in a little bit closer, have him toss it again, and intercut the two shots so it looks like I have two cameras running at the same time. In fact, anytime he made any progress in his little journey through this scene, I would change the camera angle, change the position, because the feeling I wanted from the movie was that I did have a lot of time and money and cameras, and so I didn't shoot anything in a master. So basically, I'm just cutting in the camera. Since I'm also the editor of the movie, I'm just making my editing decisions as I go along, not shooting anything extra. Every time you see that flash frame again, that's me just stopping filming or starting to shoot again. I would call action, then I would start shooting. Now these pieces here look very short and very small, but when you see the finished cut, it's not short at all. It's plenty of, I'm only using a few frames because it's an action sequence, so you only need a very small amount of film. That one cable that's tied around the pole right there, we put up, fastened it from that pole to a telephone pole across the street. And then what he does is slide across this with a homemade pulley device that we had a local blacksmith make us for $12 US. We tested it in Carlos's backyard.
Action!
Now you recognize this guy here. He's one of the bad guys in the movie. Instead of having a film crew, I would just use my actors. I mean, they're just standing around anyway, so he was helping me by pulling me in the wheelchair as I got this shot of Carlos going overhead. We're actually just waiting for our bus to arrive. Here's our bus. What I did was I got all the way down the street with a zoom lens so that I could compact the action slowly by pushing in as he went down the line, making it look like the bus was much closer to him than it was. I also undercranked so that it would look a little faster. So he kicked the bus, swings over to his mark on top of the truck, and he doesn't fall on the bus. I get that separately from inside the bus. He's already on the hood. He just hops down on front and shuffles around. And this is something I had forgotten about. I got myself in the shot by accident. You see me in the rear view strip there in the bus. There's my camera wrapped in a t-shirt, and there's me back there. You see, it's almost like shooting documentary style. It's just you with a handheld camera running around grabbing all your little pieces. So here we shoot it again from the outside, and he's just shuffling around, we're not going very fast at all, making it look like there's a lot of danger involved. That truck right there that he runs onto actually is, you notice that the bad guys drive it around in the movie. That's Carlos's truck. All my camera, it's our production truck. All my camera equipment's in the back. It followed us around everywhere and shows up quite a few times in the movie. It's just an all-purpose shooting vehicle. Okay, so here's the truck sequence edited. Now, what you're looking at here is not the DVD copy that you have. This is my actual original $7,000 videotape that first went out to studios, the one that Columbia bought. People always ask, well, before the film was blown up and you first got it shown, what did it look like? Was it just unwatchable? Did Columbia come in and fix it all up? And actually, this is it right here. I'd cut offline on 3/4 inch, did all my cutting straight from my original tape that came off the original negative, so it looks much cleaner than what you even have on the DVD, because by the time Columbia bought it and blew it up to 35 millimeter and distributed it on film, it was much more degraded, and the film negative had been handled so much that it was really worn out. I couldn't even use that negative to make a good video transfer for this DVD. Okay, this is how you get 5 shots in one take. Basically, I shoot his first line of dialogue here in the wide, then I zoom in for his second line, which is a little more threatening, zoom back out to get this wide shot of the guitar case going up. And I'm doing this because I wanted to make it look like I've shot this all day with different lens sizes. I go back to a medium close-up and then punch in for a tighter shot for his last big threat, then whip back out again for him opening the case. Now, I know those zooms are very jarring, but they're basically just repositions. I always plan to cut away to the other guy's reaction during the zoom. Basically, I'm just shooting as an editor, getting my coverage that I need, but doing it all in one take, rather than, I'm never going to use that threat in a wide. So I'll go ahead and get it in a close-up, and I've made the decision. I've made the editing decision as I've shot it. So I can't change my mind later because it's shot only one way. I only did one take of this. But it's fine. You find that you can deal with anything that you've done. You can make just about anything work. You just make the decision now, save all that time and money, and not make the decision later. And if you're the editor, you can make those decisions, and they work out fine. That was a real gun, by the way, and so are these two up front here. See, this guy has a real gun, but the two in the back, those are water pistols. See the extra big water cartridge there sticking out. We borrowed these guns from the cops.